This is an air compressor manufactured in 1960 with an output of 16.5 CFM, 28 cubic meters per hour, a 4 horsepower 3 kilowatt electric motor, and a 26.4 gallon 100 liter air tank. The pressure switch shuts off at approximately 83 pounds per square inch, 5.7 bar. However, it is no longer able to reach this pressure. Its maximum pressure capability is now approximately 76.9 pounds per square inch, 5.3 bar. During use, it can't maintain pressure and overheats. As you can see, there is baked-on oil in the discharge area. The seating cone of the concentric valve is stuck due to baked-on oil. The concentric valves are likely not the issue. There wouldn't be this much baked-on oil if they were. Removing the compressor head will reveal more. Two concentric valves are visible here. There is baked-on oil on the piston as well. Removing the compressor cylinder will reveal the condition of the piston and piston rings. A few hits with a rubber mallet. Here we can see a scratched piston and seized piston rings. I will free the piston rings using fine sandpaper and a file. Sealing ring successfully removed. Oil scraper ring snapped during removal. Trying to smooth out sharp edges and bring the ring grooves back to proper height. Removing baked-on oil from the piston crown. Removal of debris caused by sanding and filing. Removal of old disintegrated gasket. There is some baked-on material on the cylinder wall, possibly pieces from the piston. And many rusty spots. Most likely condensed water and insufficient oil. Drill mounted cylinder honing tool. I don't have honing oil, so I found that sewing machine oil can be used instead. A lot of gunk is forming. I'll clean it and use more oil. Well, this doesn't seem to be the right approach. Another alternative to honing oil I found is using WD-40. The cylinder still looks the same, but the honing stones are completely worn out. As another alternative to honing oil, I found 10W30 motor oil. Worn honing stones replaced with new ones. I also found that a lot of oil is really needed. Wow, the rust is almost gone. I can't afford to remove any more material from the cylinder, as it would significantly increase its diameter and require a larger piston with matching rings. Unfortunately, some rust will have to remain. I'll apply rust converter to the remaining rust and let it sit for 24 hours. Removal of residue after rust remover. Just to be sure, I'll give it a light pass with the honing tool. Surface prep of the cylinder top for proper gasket fit. Removal of the old gasket from the bottom of the cylinder. The head requires cleaning too. Making a new head gasket from gasket paper. A new gasket is also needed under the cylinder. Final finishing of the piston. The top of the piston shows minor pitting. Now I know what caused it. A piece of the sealing plate of the concentric valve in the compression chamber is missing. Now the scratched piston makes sense too. Pressure plate spring plate, second spring plate, broken sealing plate. I found a new sealing plate and spring plates on the marketplace. Comparison old versus new. Mechanical test of functionality. I'll make a new gasket here as well. Loosening the pressure screws of the concentric valves. Setting the correct clamping force of the concentric valves. New piston rings, scraper ring from a tractor, sealing rings from a truck. Original parts are no longer available. I thoroughly oiled each ring. A new gasket is needed here as well. The old oil doesn't look bad, but I want to use a different one. It's currently 5W40. Here it looks worse. It smells like lubricating Vaseline. I decided to wipe out the crankcase to remove the old oil. New compressor oil VG100. Trying to rotate the compressor manually before turning it on. The pressure gauge needle jumps because the compressor is on soft wheels. I'll release some air to see if it switches on automatically to repressurize the tank. According to my calculation, the compressor should pressurize the tank to 82.7 psi, 5.7 bar in 1 minute and 13 seconds. Based on the video timing, it actually did it in 1 minute and 17 seconds. I think the repair was successful. Thank you for watching.